We are back with another Age of Mythology retold cast from the player's point of view. Today, we're watching Husk Soup play Hades against Recon's Loki. So this is one of the games from one of the final sets of the Genesis qualifiers, and I was watching this one live, and this was just one of the greatest strategies, and I just really had to share it. For anyone that doesn't know this strategy, this is the JA special. So this is made by John Arbiter. He is a Twitch streamer, and I will be putting the link to his video showing how to do this in the description. It shows basically how to do this Hades build order and get maximum efficiencies out of it to hit the perfect timing. So this strategy from Soup here will be going for Cyclops, and Cyclops now in after the most recent change, which was a few weeks ago, are very, very strong. Especially with the upgrade. So what we'll be seeing here is a nice play into Cyclops. So what Soup's doing straight away is he's getting the wood and the gold in to build a temple as soon as possible. The reason that you want this is you want to get fast Vaults of Erebus out. And what Vaults of Erebus does is... excuse me. It gives you... Of course, I can't even click on it. It gives you 2 gold trickle rate, which basically means 2 gold per second. So it gives you like 2 villagers worth of gold gather rate, which is pretty insane. And it means you need very few villagers on gold. And it's basically, it's similar to the ISIS tech. The sooner you get it, the better it is, because it costs the same amount if you get it 5 minutes in or if you get it 20 minutes in. So you want to get it early. So that's why you've got the 3 villagers on favor here. And what he's also done is saved 50 wood here by hitting the giraffes back in with his scout. It means you get less scouting action, which obviously isn't as good if you're on a map that needs a lot of scouting where you want to get loads of goats in or you desperately need the early scouting. But it does save 50 wood, which gets your temple up quicker. Now he's even going for 4 villagers on favor, so this is like trying to get the Vaults of Erebus tech ASAP. Then everything else will be coming onto food, and then he just wants to hit a nice advance time. He's already pre-queued up Vaults of Erebus, and that's what you want to do for any text that you want. For anyone that doesn't know, you can right-click a tech, and as soon as you get the resources for that, it will instantly queue. So there we go. The only thing is, if it is training something else, then it will cancel that. It basically overrides anything, so it's just something to look out for. But for text like this, you definitely want to do it. Also, we're getting that house up, and then everything else will be coming over to food, and he'll be getting... I believe you get around a 4:30 advance time with this, maybe a 4:15, but we'll have to see. Just checking out the enemy base, basically seeing if he could go for some kind of attack on a gold mine at some point. He sees that he doesn't have a back gold mine, so maybe it's a front one, but it's something that really dictates how you play, seeing what gold mine your opponent has. And Soup's base, really nice and defensive. He's playing against Loki. Loki can sometimes be aggressive. Loki can really play anyway. He isn't the same as he was on Legacy, where you have to play him aggressive with Hursa, but he does like to build the Hursa because he can still get the myth unit spawns with them. But as we said, he should be advancing now. 4:30. Oh no, he's going for a late advance time. No, this is it. He goes for a super. That's it. He goes for a super greedy advance time, getting out all of the hand axe, all of the pickaxe, whatnot. So this kind of build. You can only do this if you know that you're not going to get attacked. Let's say you're playing against a Kronos, or you're playing against somebody that plays quite aggressive and you know they're going to go for an early rush. You really don't want to do this because you want to get some units out to defending yourself, get your free myth unit out. I mean, the best thing about it, though, is he is Hades, so Hades does have sentinels. But you can see that the enemy Loki player, Recon, has already advanced, and Soup still hasn't clicked advance. But what he's gaining by this is he's gaining... being able to build a villager every 15 seconds. So he hasn't missed on that. He hasn't missed out on the extra minute of the lost minute of training villagers. But he should be going up relatively soon, you'd imagine. Probably after this one. No, still holding it. I absolutely love it. Because basically, if you're not being attacked, this is the better play, right? As long as you also don't want to put any pressure on your opponent, it is just better because you get more resources in. But it's risky in the sense that if you do get attacked, you're a bit screwed. Well, here we go. We see the Ares for a 5:45 advance time, which is ridiculously late. Basically, probably the meta would be advancing around 4 4 minutes to 4:15. 4:30 would be considered late. Even there's some builds where you get up for 3:30, so this is crazy late. He's managed to scout all of the map. We'll see what relics there were. I think he's already got one as well. So this was improves line of sight of excuse me, improves line of sight of buildings, which is pretty good to be honest. Increases crush damage of siege weapons and myth units. Now, that's pretty good because I'm pretty sure Cyclops have crush damage, right? Increase the attack of counter infantry. So this is Hippaspis. Hippaspis are really good against Norse, so why not? And it looks like he is going to get that crush damage here. It does just say Colossus, so maybe he doesn't get it from... Oh, no, definitely does. So this is even better. The Ajax definitely wants to go straight for that. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen this build, the basic build is you want Cyclops and you want archery ranges. You want Cyclops and you want archers and your heroes out. The idea is the Cyclops is the front line, and then the archers are the back line dealing all of the damage. And then the Cyclops can also use their special and get some big AoE damage off as well. You can see Recon's done these really nice little walls. Whenever you can see little walls like this, like you might as well put them down, especially as Norse. It barely costs anything because you don't have to send a villager over there. Just really nice play. We can see that the gold mines are kind of all to the side. There's not too much in the middle. And he does see that his opponent does have a forward gold mine, but obviously he didn't go for any kind of rush on that because he advanced so late. But Achilles is going to go have a look around as well. And hasn't decided to build anything out of these yet, because what he'll want to do is go up to the heroic age. So this strat is all about getting Underworld in, because Cyclops are ridiculously slow. If we look at these boys here, they are 3.5 speed, and that is not ideal. It would take a long time to traverse the map, and if they get caught out, it's a bit of a problem. I see a little bit of a raid from the Hersers here. Suppe drops his sentinels, which is nice. This one unfortunately got stuck behind the berry bush. Just happens sometimes, so he does lose one. I wouldn't say there's not much he could have done. Sometimes they just get stuck and you don't notice in time. But he's got three Cyclops out. He'll be looking to head to the next age soon. Got quite a lot on the favor, actually. He's got 6 on favor, so he really wants to pump out these Cyclops. And how much does Cyclops actually cost? 18 favors. They're one of the more expensive classical myth units. But the idea of this is you can defend really nicely with this. If anyone comes in, even if it's Hersers, these can definitely tank the Herser damage, not a problem. And then the Tox will just snipe any units that want to come in. It's nice and easy. Got all 3 archery ranges producing for now. And is just slowly getting the resources. He's also got a Pegasus out. So I've actually played John Arbiter, played him when he was doing this strat. I didn't know that he was doing this strat, but I managed to luckily snipe his Pegasus twice, and it pushed back the advanced time, or not advanced time. It pushed back the Underworld timing. Sorry. So I managed to beat him because he basically didn't get his attack off for like 2 extra minutes because I sniped two Pegasus. But Suppe does have one Pegasus and then 1 backup scout here. I would just suggest, if you're going to do this build, I would definitely go for 2 scouts to get in and do your Underworld timing, because otherwise, if they do snipe that, you're basically just sat in your base. And when I played him, I managed to get a town center up, and then the later this happens, the less effective it is. So I can see he's going through Apollo now. Got a decent amount. He's got 4 Cyclops, 12 archers, and he'll just be queuing archers for the next 75 seconds up until he gets up to the next stage. You'll be getting medium archers as well. And then, actually, where did his Pegasus go? Maybe his Pegasus got sniped. I think his Pegasus got sniped, which is why he needs to build a new one. And here it comes. Oh, it literally just came home for some reason. I wonder if it counts as the select or military. I would really hope that it doesn't. But you never know. Houses all over for the Loki cheese. So he's getting 2 more Cyclops out. And Enyo's Bow of Horrors. This is Ares giving extra attack to your archers. So it's all about, you want to get as much damage as possible. Copper weapons, medium archers. I'm sure he'll be pre-queuing heavy archers as well. And this is going to be a pretty devastating attack for anyone that isn't ready for it. Looks like he's He's looking. He's looking. The walls don't matter. All of these nice defensive walls. Oh, looks like the Goody are in. Gonna try and snipe the Pegasus. But Pegasus is too fast because it looks like Recon doesn't have ballistics. So gets his Underworld passage down and Elder Cyclops in. Even though these are hero units, the Cyclops with their 55% pierce, you drop down Pestilence, which means that these towers don't shoot and everything else trains slower. And then if anything wants to get on these Cyclops, the archers are there to snipe them down. Heroes there for the battle boar or any myth units that want to come past. And this town center is definitely going down. Hearses are in, but they're definitely too late. I mean, look at the amount of archers here. These Hearser will go down so quick. They just have to run away. They don't deal enough damage to the Cyclops. The Cyclops are just so healthy. 810 HP. One gets a couple of whacks off, but Hades gets free ballistics when going up to the heroic age. So these slower units, they definitely can't dodge any of the arrows. And then tower down, and this is just a commanding position for the Hades player Suppe. He can just do whatever he wants now. He can sit on this town center to make sure that his opponent doesn't get it. He can go around looking for gold mines to see where he was gathering gold. I think it was this one. But he can also just put the pressure on, try and get some of these buildings down. Because the awkward thing about Norse, especially, is they need to build with their units. So if you take all their buildings out and they want to attack you, and then there's a flaming weapons comes down here, and Suppe's like, well, I mean, I've got so many archers. Archers are going to out DPS anyway. The only issue with this is all the Cyclops will fall, because double damage plus all the extra damage against heroes. I mean, 6.88 with the doubled up attack is pretty brutal. But he's done what he needed to do. Might have overstayed slightly, but he was so far ahead anyway. And for each 15 seconds that the opponent's town center is down, you just get one more villager ahead. So we can see that Suppe is 10 villagers ahead currently, and until Recon builds the town center, it will just keep going further and further ahead. Now this is what you need to do. Once this has happened, you need to search for gold mines. This is a great map to do it on because the gold mines are all out and exposed. Recon does obviously have these wooden gates here, but the Underworld is still there. You can set a waypoint this side and be absolutely fine. Needs to get away from this because the battle boar will put in some serious work. But it looks like the army is going to come over. Nice bit of micro there because you need quite a few villagers to take down these rhinos, so why not just use your archers while they're there? Not a bad play. Pegasus on this gold mine. He sees that he's not on this gold mine. More than likely has to be on this one, unless he's snuck all the way over here. But I mean, then if you catch him, he's just dead. Still going for the exact same comp. Still going for Cyclops. Building lots of Cyclops. Got some military academies to get some hoplites out as well. Hoplite's just a generally strong unit and absolutely fine to go for. And also, if you go through Ares, you get a tech for divine damage for your hoplites and prodromos, and that is underrated, I think. That divine damage there. Everyone says about the slingers, but no one seems to go Ares and get the hoplites with their divine damage. But just chasing all these Goadies out, and if there aren't many myth units, then they just aren't as good as the Tox here. Like Olafar the Peacock just doesn't quite have the damage and quite have the rate of fire. So he's got 6.1 damage per second, and the Tox has 8.2. And these, I believe, cost more. Pretty sure. Yeah, 80-40, 55-35. It's just they're better against heroes, but everything else you'd just rather have a basic archer. So if you're just in an archer fight, the Hades ones are going to win every time. Unless they've got some kind of front line, but the battle board goes down. We've got Chiron here to take out the trolls. Trolls are very, very strong against archers. As you can see, they push back there, but the Chiron can easily snipe those down. Not a problem. Unfortunately, just doesn't have the numbers though. The Cyclops is in, throwing the lads around. Really nice wall up here. I think this is something that Soup must do because he's a Norse main, so he would think about putting these walls up. Means you've got to get a villager all the way up here, though. But someone that's not a Norse main maybe might not think of that. You see, basically going pure Goaty here. No, this guy. Oh dear. I love that they kept some of these names. Inkavar, the far travelled. Maybe not as funny as some of the old ones though, but still good. Got some gatherers coming forward here. So you can see the score lead, like Suppe just so far ahead. Just needs to find a way to close out now, which is just all about gold mines. But the issue is you need to build up a decent force to actually stop the opponent from gathering. And this is something that I find in Retold with how big the populations are. You need to get up to 4 population to kind of contest, because if you just try and go in thinking you're ahead, you're going to find things like this where the opponent will sneak a few units this side, a few units this side, and you just need to make sure that you capitalize on you having more economy, being in the next stage, being able to get heavy units out versus the unupgraded ones, which is what Soup's doing now, getting Sunray, getting bronze weapons, getting all these things to push your advantage that you've actually got rather than just pushing it prematurely. So even though the damage is definitely done and he is in the driver's seat, you've got to make sure it happens and you can't overstay. I think he might have overstayed after the Underworld, but then it did push back what Recon wanted to do. So Goaty's coming here. Having all the map pressure here to get all the hunt on the map as well, and all these wooden walls to get rid of this one, because he definitely... Oh, there was some blue there. He definitely could sneak some of these, so walls up means that it's basically not going to happen. Really nice raids from Recon. I mean, if you're behind, this is the sort of stuff that you need to do, because it's going to be very difficult to take a full-on fight with somebody with just better tech than you. So why not send out the raids, try and get little bits of damage where you can. But now it looks like there's a 175 out of 175. Decent force to just run forward now. Needs to make sure he's got his heroes out to deal with the trolls, which he absolutely does. Unfortunately, loses those heroes though. Wants to rebuild those. Might have done that on purpose, to be honest, because they were pretty low HP, and he just doesn't want to risk losing them. This guy stayed here just to get a little bit of vision, which is a really interesting play, just to see where these units are coming. But unfortunately loses his life there. But Achilles coming back. Ajax, Chiron queued up, but he's at full population. So he needs to lose a unit before they get built. Recon going for a town center. And these guys are going to get thrown and some decent damage and all of them fall down. It's just so strong. But the trolls have a decent special as well. The settlement should go up, but I mean, it's going to go straight down with all these Cyclops. I mean, look how much damage it does before it's even up. Ah, brutal. Lots and lots of trolls here. Heroes coming out slowly, but what Soup can do is just take out everything that's not a troll, and then when you're just left with trolls, it isn't too bad. But this was the JA special. I will put a link down to how to do this from John Arbiter's video. But well played by Soup, and this series was amazing. If you want to see it in its fullest, it was casted on EGC TV, and I'll put a link to that as well. And I'll see you in the next one.